Vanessa Coleman, inmate number 1003446, 5001 Maloneyville Road, Building 2A, Pod 110, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37918.
And do all inmates have a personal identification number?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is Ms. Coleman's personal identification number?
Yes, ma'am.
If you can read the letter to us.
Starts off with Saturday night. I gave her water from a cup out of the kitchen. When she was blindfolded, I gave it to her. She reached up to grab it, and I placed the cup in her hand, but I did not touch her. I never touched the clothes she had on, but the clothes Davison gave me belonged to her. So I'm guessing so, because one of the officers told me they were hers. I never binded her arms. I touched that part of her, and there's an arrow drawn to what appears to be a hand showing my two fingers touching her wrist with a notation. Then all three were there, Cobbins, Davidson, and Thomas. When Davidson said, "Vanessa, get in here and check her fucking pulse right fucking now," and she makes a notation, "I only did that once. I slept on those sheets a few times, the one that they binded her arms with, but after they were on her, I did not touch them." Stick figure of an individual with showing her position, kneeling down to tend to the girl.
And up in the column, besides Saturday night, are there additional notations?
Beside Saturday night, there's a notation made in the margin that Cobbins was there with me with two arrows. Thomas and Davison were gone.
Okay.
The next page shows a picture of a stick person appeared to be laying down with a notation, her hands are, and the book bag with, and I'm not sure of the word, says air mattress, legs binded together. Said her hands are binded together behind her head, and that's it, connected to the book bag, and her legs were tied together also. And she was blindfolded with a towel wrapped around her head, except her nose and her mouth was uncovered. I used the bathroom once after she did and before she did. Davidson would take her when she had to go, and he would stand in there and watch her to make sure she wouldn't leave. Next page is titled Sunday Night. In the margin is, next line is, I put my stuff into a garbage bag and tried to leave. Out in the margin, there's a notation, Cobbins, what are you doing? Me, I am leaving because things aren't right. Cobbins, come back to the house now. He then takes my garbage bag and me back to the house. He's got me with a tight grip on my arm. I was in front of the garbage place when he brought me back. I tried pulling away, but it didn't work. I didn't have much in my garbage bag because I didn't have much. Cobbins, again, notated in the margin, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you trying to cause a fucking scene? Me, no, I just want to leave, please. Then Davison comes into the front room where Cobbins has his hands around my throat and me pinned against the wall. When Davison comes into the room, he then has the gun by his side. He says, if you ever pull some shit like that again, I'll fucking kill you. The whole time he said that Cobbins still has me up against the wall with his hands around my throat. The reason I tried to leave is because I couldn't understand why that girl was still there and where the vehicle came from. It just wasn't adding up. After that, Cobbins would say my name about every 5 to 10 minutes and say, what are you doing? Where are you going? Has an arrow with a notation, look at picture to see. Who was where while she was being murdered? Cobbins was watching me and them, but he was closely focused on me. He could see me because the blanket had an opening to it. The doors, all in parentheses, were locked with chairs in front of them. The chairs belonged to the kitchen table set. The chairs were propped up under the doors. All three guys were there, Cobbins, Davidson, and Thomas. But Thomas wasn't around when I was pinned against the wall and things. The chairs were there because you'd be able to hear the person remove the chair, and mostly you'd hear the door opening. The back door, because the chair was there plus trash bags, but the front door only had the chair under the doorknob. Last page shows a picture appearing to be several rooms, notated a front room with a stick person saying me, what appears to be a doorway with opening and blanket. Then there's a picture of a living room. Below that is notated a room called Davison's room. Above the drawing where it has kitchen, it has a stick person showing Cobbins to be that person. Above that is a notation made when girl was being murdered. Then it shows Thomas's room or room in back, shows a bathroom, a closet, shows a stick figure with an arrow that says girl, a stick figure that says Davison, and a stick figure that says Thomas.